Hey, welcome to Taking It to the Nub. Man, today I have a really special guest, Dr. Oscar Rodriguez, owner, CEO of GTO Dominican Cigars. And we're going to get into a lot of things. You're probably asking some of you that have never heard of this company what that name means, and we're going to find out in just a moment. But I'm going to bring in Dr. Oscar Rodriguez. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good evening.
Evening.
This is me. I got it.
Yeah, I would ask you what you're smoking and drinking, but you look like you're in a car.
I'm in the back. They put me in the back seat because they're like, "No, you ain't sitting in the front." So,
All right. So, thank you for joining the show. I know you took some time you're going to a wedding, I understand. So I really appreciate that you're able to do this and make it to this family wedding that you're going to. So this is great.
definitely. No, for me, I wouldn't leave it to be with you tonight. I wouldn't miss that opportunity.
Okay. Now your video freezes up there, so I don't know if you're in a garage or whatever, but it kind of gets a little glitchy. But
We need to push out.
it's okay.
Let me see if I can.
Let's see how we could roll with this. 3 generations of tobacco growing and cigar making you're from.
Well, I'm actually, I'm the 4th generation. In the lineage. I'm Mira, that's the parking thing. 4 generations with me to the current point, and then we still haven't crowned the next heir.
Yeah, we're looking. The next one. Is there one coming up the line?
We've got there's a couple of cousins that we're grooming, so I made it a little bit more competitive, so I'm using where my grandfather did a tiered system, I've done everything, but I'm not the I'm not the ace of anything. Like, I know how to roll, I know how to my job is to blend. So I don't even call myself the master blender, I'm just a blender.
Okay.
But the new cousins that are coming up, I'm making them do testing. I want them to be able to do everything. So they're gonna have to put out. It's gonna be a unique experience for the next generation that comes through.
Fantastic. Now, do you like to be called Doctor or just Oscar?
Oscar. Doctor is when you're in the office. You call me Doc for short. That's fine. But if you don't have to be formal. Unless I'm doing a prostate exam, then I'll be like, sir. And then we'll figure around.
All right, I got you, Doc. Let's start a little bit. I've actually there's a new lounge here, or a new lounge down in Florida in Vero Beach called Catelli Cigar Lounge. I believe you know Michael Catalano from Catelli.
Yes.
And he raves about your brand. And I was down there doing a review, and I hear a lot about your brand, and I have to apologize. They were hard for me to find. So wherever I went, they weren't on a shelf. Well, he's got them.
Wow.
And I picked up a bunch from him. I got the Liqueur.
Yes.
Painkiller.
Okay.
And which one you think I should smoke now after having a big dinner?
Oh, the La Cura, definitely. The La Cura is my latest blend, and it's definitely something that can go very nicely post-prandial. It's a beautiful smoke, very hardy. It's also 10 years aged. It's pretty much it's very well. I love the construction on it. We put a old school pigtail on it, closed foot. Just trying to show off a little, here and there, little bits of our ability to put stuff together. Another notable feature that we do in our cigars is we never bunch. We only we fold our filler, so that gives us a more consistent harder, stronger, more, more, like it just feels better in the hand. It's not soft, but it
Mm-hmm.
should have it should be, you should be able to draw like if you're sucking through a straw, because the intake is linear. I call it more like using a K&N filter.
All right. There you go. Now, the name GTO, that's to have anything to do with Oscar, with the O? Is there letters of the family in that? What does GTO stand for?
Well, GTO, like since I had four, I had four GTOs. I collect them, but the guys always kind of jokingly used to say great tobacco from Oscar. Whenever I was making cigars for my family over the last 25 years being on base, we always I always brought in about, if I made a blend, I brought in about 1,000. I gave them to the NCOs. I gave them to the officers on base. They were my let's call them my testing people. And like they would tell me, oh, we like this. You need to, we didn't like this part. It was this or that. So I was always tweaking it based on what my Air Force guys would tell me to do. So I love my guys. They all help me. Yeah, and it's like a lot of people, they always tell me how that I listen, and I'm about that. I'm about making stuff for the people. I want people to let me know what you're thinking. If something didn't appeal to you, I want to make one for you. I love doing, and then my favorite thing is imitating or when I find a nice blend that I like to try to do it myself, my
Try to
rendition.
decompose it. So you try to
Oh,
decompose it and recreate it?
yes, I extremely love doing that. That seems to be like also. So a lot of guys give me their cigars, and then they'll look at me, and then I'll tell them what's in it. They freak out. They're like, And then here's the funny thing: there's a lot of cigar brands that they don't know what they got in it, and when they give it to me, they're something's off from here. I'm like, no, that's Ecuadorian. And I said, I totally taste that. Like there's nothing of what you said in this cigar. So like, well, that's what the guy who made it for me told me. I'm like, you're getting shellacked, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have a reputation for knowing a lot about cigars and a lot about blending, especially. And I want to ask you a question. Um,
Sure.
when you smoke a cigar which you've never smoked before, not one of yours, just somebody else's, can you tell the difference between aged good vintage tobacco and not? I mean, what does that do to the palate that makes you know that this is a better aged cigar? Can you tell the difference smoking it?
Sure. I'll tell you. So there's a lot of little nuances that you can pick up, like if once you learn to do that. But I will tell you, for the most part, a quality aged tobacco, for me, like I like to make it really simple. I feel like it gives you like a nice little buzz on the center of the tongue, and maybe towards the tip, and you'll get like a little bit of a vibration, and that's just the beautifulness of the nicotine that's been like hibernating inside the leaf for a long time, mixing with the tar, and those little things, they just start to flutter in the mouth, if well, you're smoking the La Cura, but if you would have been smoking the Corona, you pick up on that right away. It's like a sizzling that you taste on the tongue, and then also the finish. Quality aged tobacco is very clean for the most part. It doesn't leave an aftertaste. So whenever somebody tells me this is 10 years and I got it in my mouth, and I'm like, I said, no, this is not. Like I don't tell them anything because I'm not, that I don't. That's not my role. But like I immediately discount the product. I was like, this is not. One guy told me I use 10-year age stuff, and I'm like, no, you don't. That's not even 2 years old. Like it's not. I mean, I can still taste the ammonia. He's like, what? There's still ammonia. This thing is new. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. And he goes, but that happens a lot for the most part, with guys that a lot of companies that shop tobacco. and guys that have brands that are third party. Those guys, the blend is not. I'm not knocking none of their stuff, but I'm more of a purist. We're a traditional cigar maker. We like to repeat the same thing every single time. We don't like. We don't believe in. If it's not perfect, then we don't. I don't want to release it. I'll take it back if it doesn't meet the criteria that we, you know, that Corona is a blend that came out in 1942, and it's tasted the same for the all
So
the
this
time. You know,
is your grandfather's blend?
well, no, this La Cura is actually it's my concoction, and it's actually my rendition of what I feel the original Liga Privada used to be. To me, the Liga, I had kept two boxes that I got in the when they first came out. I smoke other brands very slowly, like because that I actually I smoke the whole cigar. To me, a cigar is not it's not a thing of wasting time. I really make a big deal when it's an important ceremony for me. So when I sit down and I'm focusing on the smoke, I was really intrigued by the Liga, the original, and I bought two boxes, but I kept them. So I might smoke one every 6 months, and then a friend of mine gave me one from the new batch, and I was like, oh, this is not even close. These guys are using tabacos from all over the place here. This is a mess, you know, like it's not even close. It's the new one is monotone, but enough about brands that aren't mine. Uh, so
So
I made the La Cura honoring that, you know, like to the left. So I wanted to bring that earth, that cocoa, that beautiful some nutmeg, some I even get a little bit of cinnamon in this cigar, even like a touch of walnut, but some nice hints of good cocoa.
yeah,
And then using our tobaccos, if you can tell, all of our tobacco is because my soil is very rich in manganese and strong nitrates. You're gonna always have a beautiful white ash. That's definitely indicatory of quality tobacco of unsurpassed measure. That you know, a lot of them are gray, and that's fine.
yeah.
Gray tobacco, gray ash is nice, but something white ash like that is that's like the creme brulee.
Now I have I'm watching some comments come in. Um, Barry Bones Argento, who you know well, I'm sure.
He's a great bambino. I love that guy.
He says the liqueur is his best, but the new one is better, and it's not out yet.
He got to taste a new blend that I'm messing with, and that you know, like because he's my ambassador. So I gave him one. Hey, don't worry, I'll get you guys some too. It's a Corojo rendition of a new blend, and I'm gonna let people smoke it first before we throw it out there. But don't worry.
Um, Tyler Garcia, who's from Kansas, wants to know where can he get GTO in Kansas, other than a
In Kansas.
dealership?
Oh, you know, Kansas, we're not really there. I have a hard time with states where I have that I don't get to go to because like being stationed on Maxwell Air Force Base, I cover for the most part the southeast, and I also do ER work in several hospitals in the region. So like I'm not the greatest rep or that when I get out there. So if he finds a store as some around him or his tobacconist, I'll tell him to call me. I'll gladly take care of him. If not, our best store to get our stuff at is Cigars and More in Birmingham, Alabama. They're like our main hub. He has like 5 premium stores and like 12 tobacco shops. So this guy, he's deep into it, and we could send it anywhere and probably get some of the best rates, you know, cost.
Now you brought up in this conversation two things. One, I know you're a doctor, but I don't know what kind of doctor. And two, you bring up the Air Force. So are you in the Air Force, or are you just working on the base?
I'm I'm still active duty. I'm at the end of our tour. Uh, We're closing it out, so you can see I'm getting very relaxed on regulations. I honestly don't care anymore. But I'm out the door. I put in for retirement, guys. So you'll know that I'm retired because I'm definitely going to show up at a lot more shops. I'm just waiting for them to tell me to get the hell out. I'm this close. My specialty, I do on base, I do primary care, but my specialty is emergency medicine, and I do a lot of trauma. So
Well,
we've been all over the place. It's all about helping people. Every aspect of what I do is, I just like to. I brought the cigars in. I know you didn't ask me that, but but I'll bring it up. Our family has been noted. We've been making cigars for 140 years. We started in Dominican a long, long time ago. And I always tell people that I like to debunk theories. All of cigar production was started in Dominican Republic. I'm a historian. I'm just not good with the dates. But I tell everybody, look, when Christopher Columbus showed up on the island, he found the Indians already smoking. And there already are hieroglyphics showing Mayan Indians smoking 500 BC. So we already know that they had a conical shape in their hand. They were smoking something that looked like a cheroot right before Christ. And then I always tell people, if you believe in God and Jesus was a guy who hung out with 12 guys. They ate fish, they drank wine. What do you do when you finish eating fish and drinking wine? You're
smoke a
gonna light up a
cigar.
stogie. There you go. So I can tell you, Jesus smoked cigar, and his favorite brand was the GTO. No, but I tell people all the time that from the 1460s up all the way through, all cigar production was coming out of La Isla de Hispaniola. It's recorded in Spanish logs. So it shows thousands, hundreds of thousands of cigars. And then we went during the French-Spanish War. That's when everybody left the island because the French were burning down all of the industry. They burned down the first church, the first Congress, the first everything. So we took the seed over there. So when people say, is this original Cuban seed? I'll tell them, no, it's original Dominican seed because that's where it all started. So he goes, and I tell them, don't get it twisted because the best thing of all is all of the families, we all left Cuba between 50 and 60, we left, so what are you looking for back there? What do you think is good if I leave all the people that I taught how to make stuff to continue making it? That's fine. The apprentices, I don't believe that they have surpassed the masters. The masters left, so we're on this side now. So follow us, buy our stuff, save some money. Don't be spending hundreds of dollars where you don't have to throw away money, and enjoy a quality cigar because all they have is concoctions. They import a ton of tobacco. I don't see why people want to even kill themselves to get that stuff. There's nothing there but an old name.
I can vouch for the fact that over the last 5 years at least, I've had legit Cubans that I know are legit, and they don't smoke right. They're not rolled correctly anymore. They don't. They're not. The quality's gone way down on the Cuban cigars.
Whereas
the Dominican and Nicaraguan have ramped up their quality, knowing that especially the American market demands that.
Yes, definitely. Totally agree. The quality's not there. They can't be. They're not even consistent with any blend. There is. See the notable feature for what, because they were the last ones to do them. Let's say that the most notable that we remember in our generation, because it was like within the last 100 years, it was coming out of there. But see, the good tobacco, the good cigars were the ones they call puros. The puros were wrapper, filler, and binder from the same country, and that makes that cigar unequivocal. And here's the caveat: all of my cigars come from my tobacco. I grow it. I do not buy nobody's tobacco. I don't have no excuse if something's not right. You tell me that, then I know what area of my farm is jacked up. If something's not right, and I haven't had no complaints, because we're monitoring that on a daily basis. We're on the farm. We're checking our stock. We're checking our aging. So my cigars are puros for the most part. So you get a beautiful puro for under I think my most expensive cigar is $11. So you're getting the equivalent is could be if I gave it to somebody else to sell, they're gonna sell it for 20, 25. So I said, enjoy, because I made this. Actually, I did this, and we're going back to the beginning of what I was trying to tell you. We've been making cigars for other families for a long time, not families, for other companies. So I wanted to, since I own the blends, they don't own the blend. I could take that blend and give it to anybody. So I was like, I'm gonna make my cigars for my guys, because I always feel bad for guys that can't afford the good stuff, and there's no reason why they can't have it if I have it. And because I'm not out to make a buck, because I don't profit. I don't take one dime from our business. I do it so that my family can keep on working and have a job, have a thing to do, because there's a lot of us. There's about 192 kinfolk that just get down every day, and none of us. I'm the only one that owns 2 or 3 cars. They all own motorcycles. they
Yeah,
and they're all beat up stuff. And ain't no Harleys in our pack.
I've been down there. I've been down to the
So,
Dominican, and I know exactly what you're saying. And I've seen them with a family of 4 on a motorcycle driving down a road. It's like,
that's what we do.
place.
I'm about keeping them working. So there's tobacco for them to roll. And there's cigars to be sold, so that they can keep on thriving. And also, I want guys to get a high quality cigar. And many times I'm passed over because the cigar isn't $16. They're like, nah, I only smoke above 15. And I'm like, for the most part, a lot of them in that range could be good, but a lot of them are not. Like some people are just messing with, tobacco is graded A, B, C, and D. And there's a lot of B and C stuff out there, and they're killing it, charging $20 for that garbage. And here's the A prime stuff, which is sold for 30, 40, and 50.
So what's the difference between let's say a B and a C grade? Well, how do you make that determination? How do you get that grade?
So that's a good question. It's done by eye. When you look at something, it's the same way that I can look at a person and I can pretty much tell if a patient is sick or not, just what we call the clinical eye. So you develop this, the leaf, if it's perfect, if it's equidistant from the vein, like a typical leaf, like a nice triangular shape. So it's got good form, good shape, no irregularity in color, low veinage. That's going to be an A prime if it's perfect, because you could use the top and the bottom. If there's any kind of like morphing of the one side is shorter than another, so stuff like that, then that becomes a B. And more discoloration, C. If it's something that just doesn't look totally irregular, something that will go to the outlet, and then let's say that we chop it up and we sell it to the pipe company. So that tobacco is what we use for chop and for pipe. So D is never something you want in your cigars. B and C, if you're I throw this out to guys that want to make their own cigars now, and they think they could get a brand out there. Be careful, man, because all these other guys, if they're not big right now, they ain't tobacco, and if they don't big, they ain't got money. They can't buy the good stuff. And here and there, there's a diamond in every rough. I would say that out of 100 shit tobacco cigars, there's one that tastes really good. And I tell them that's the fried bologna sandwich that you find, because I love fried bologna sandwich. And I love Spam. You find me a Spam sandwich, I'm gonna eat it. I love that. I love Spam.
I like Spam too. I have to. My wife doesn't understand it, but I like Spam.
It's crazy. But you fry that thing, give me some plantain. I'm just gonna destroy that.
Like I like a good fried liverwurst sandwich.
Ooh.
Put that liverwurst, slice of liverwurst, put it in a frying pan, and it curls. It gets that nice curl on it. And
yeah.
On the outside, you put it on the bread with some butter. Oh man.
Yes.
We used to make.
I like that.
That's tasty stuff.
I'm with it. So so that does happen. But your chances to score are very little. Just to say, out of everything, a lot of cigars are 80% good, period. 80% is good. Now, if you're looking for better, that higher score cigar between 80 and 90, that 80 to 95% that you get into that nice percentile, it's going to have to be pretty damn good, because there's a lot of a lot of the families have buttoned down, and we're really turning out some good stuff.
There's a lot of good cigars on the market these days. You know,
I believe it. I believe it. But
so
see, the guys are getting desperate, and when guys get desperate, like people that think that, oh, this is the time to go land another brand, and I'm like, stop it. We're already saturated. There's enough family business that needs to go out that we don't really none of us. That's why a lot of us won't make other people's stuff anymore, because if we make their brand, they're gonna start flooding. They're gonna be occupying our space in other stores, and not even, like, and it's a jest, because sometimes it's not good. You're wasting time. You're making that that retailer buy a lot of it just because this guy's here or whatever, and then you're like, I can't get rid of this stuff. Like, so I just tell guys, just give this a little bit of a, let this cool down. Let us get situated. Tobacco is scarce right now. Tobacco is scarce. Nicaragua and Honduras had a lot of downfall. I don't believe that they had any production of tobacco in the last 2 years. So there's going to be a hole.
I've heard, and maybe too, but there was like a really bad hailstorm in the farms in Nicaragua last year, from what I understand, and punched holes in a lot of their leaf.
That could have happened. I mean, with that hurricane that came through Honduras, and the disease, with the COVID. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know that I saw a lot. I could tell you this: I saw a lot of their factory owners shopping tobacco in my country. So like, maybe they don't want people to know that, but that's fine. It's all fair and game. If you're out there, and you're doing that in public, you got caught. So that's okay. Dominican tobacco to me is the finest. So I'm not a proponent of strong nicotine. I don't like it, because when people they say, "Oh, you're a doctor that smokes," and I'm like, "Yeah, I smoke cigars, but I smoke in moderation, one cigar at a time."
There you go.
But and because I can get down. Yeah. I'm gonna quote him. I love it. I love that. I could do 6, 7, even 10 a day, but my stuff is medium. Like I stick to my Dominican smooth, and you'll be fine. But if you're knocking those nicotine headbangers, that's something. That's a whole different world. That's a whole different world. And I tell them, don't listen to me. I'm gonna get you in the ER when you come in. Like, the worst. The guys that don't, you are losing your ability to taste or smell it, and it's not COVID. That means, and because you smoke, Nika rockets, you need to slow down.
That's a really good topic. Let me take a quick commercial break here. Stay there. You can watch it as it goes on. I'm going to give a shout out to some of my sponsors, and we come back and we dive a little bit into that, because I think people need to understand a little bit about what you're saying, because it's really important. So today's show is brought to you by Tarazona Cigars. Tarazona hand-rolled premium long leaf cigars are each made to the highest quality by masterful rollers. Tarazona Cigars, they do it with passion. Each hand that touches the process takes pride in the quality and craftsmanship of every cigar that goes into every box of Tarazona Cigars. So next time you're looking for a fine smoke, do it with passion and reach for Tarazona. You can follow Tarazona Cigars on Facebook and Instagram, and visit them at www.tarazonacigars.com. Today's show is also brought to you by Platinum Nova. Platinum Nova is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. The highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and honor to their grandfather, who they'll always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So next time you're looking for an exquisite experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check out Platinum Nova Cigars at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And if you go to Nova Cigar, you can also get 15% off any of their cigars by using the code BostonJimmy15. Today's show, lastly, is brought to you by El Chan Cigars. El Chan is a dream come true for husband and wife Gabby El Chan and Liz. They want all the hands that work the tobacco in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call it La Joya del Chan because they cultivate part of the product, and at some point they want to be able to supply the world with the native tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those who work the tobacco leaf, and for this, they deserve a portal that represents them. Thank you for supporting our country. We will resist. Follow them at www.lajoyadelchan.com and at El Chan Cigars on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank my sponsors. Without them, this show is always a little harder to do. Okay, let's dig into what you just said, because I learned a few things myself over my years, one of which most recently is how people get addicted to retrohaling. We talk about it, and then they first start smoking a cigar and they don't know nothing about it, and then they learn how to do it, and then you start doing a little bit too much. And when you retrohale too much, you start to mess up your nasals. When your nasals get messed up, the rest of your taste gets messed up. Talk a little bit about what you were getting into as far as how the nicotine strength and things can affect your palate.
Okay, so everybody likes to go back to this FDA study that was put out that says that if because everybody wants to tell their wife, nah, this is safe. Okay, I'm gonna set the record straight. This study, even though it was long and it took a long time, years, more than 10 years to do, was based on cigars that we used to smoke in the 80s through 94, 95. What were the cigars we were smoking? Even Boston Jimmy was smoking a Macanudo, Partagas. You know, we were all smoking.
And Joya de Monterrey Excaliburs from Honduras.
There you go. So, okay, so there's some heavy hitters in there too, but for the most part, like 90% of the country was smoking mild to medium. Nobody was doing. It was not, like only like hardcore smokers would actually get something like that, like a triple ligero. So that's a very small group, and even till today, that's still a small group of guys. Believe it or not, if you look at retail and online sales, I still believe, I think it's like 84% still buy mild to medium,
Yes.
if not that infused garbage. So that study said that. So here we are smoking all these cigars, and people want to say that, oh, they don't get addicted. But you know what? Nicotine, the way it tastes, what it does to you, the chemical reaction, the release of endorphins, people like that. Even though you're not inhaling, it's enough to get you. So when you draw on a smoke, anything that little bite that you taste, it's directly proportional to the amount of pepper that you taste in your mouth. That little buzz, that little thing that it tingles the top of the palate. You don't necessarily have to retronasal it. If you retronasal, it's even worse because you're putting it above the nerve, all around the nerve. God gave you two olfactory nerves, and they come from the bottom of the base of the skull. They come down the back of the nose here, and then it goes right down and lines the palate. So when you draw the smoke, when it tingles and it starts to vibrate, it vibrates the palate. The palate goes crazy. The mind is like, what is this thing bothering me? And what the mind does is it tunes it out. So when it tunes it out, there goes your ability to taste, because anything that causes that noxious bump. So I'll give you an example. When I was doing my ER rotation in New York, I was working at Montefiore Hospital. I was on the 4th floor, and that's right where the train turns.
Where the L was?
Right there where the L turns. And I was like, my mother was my baby. I was like, oh my God, Mom, I have to hear this train. I know it comes every damn 20 minutes. Pow, pow. It wakes me up. But you know what happened after because what it does is it shakes the room, it shakes my body. The brain says, oh my God, I'm being, disturbed, and it doesn't like it. So, my brain did after a while, it started to say, these shakes, these loud sounds that are at this level, I'm going to tune it out because it's annoying. And I actually now till today, loud sounds, I don't pick them up anymore. So there could be a bang of something, and I just stay like it's okay, you know, like or vibrations that would indicate you're off the road, or like when you start like drifting and you hit those holes on the side. I don't feel those because my body tunes it out. So once the brain tunes out something, guess what happens? You cannot get it back, bro. So once it's gone, it's gone. So if you get into anosmia, which is the disease, you're done. So I tell the moment you start picking up that thing, and for the most part, it happens if you're smoking those strong cigars, full body, full strength, not just full body, because full body does not mean strength. I keep on telling guys that full body means weight of smoke and complexity. A
Thank
lot
you.
of complexity, and then when you draw that smoke, it's a smoke that like lingers. That it's almost like it weighs a
Oh,
pound
you
in your mouth.
chew it. You could chew that.
That exactly that is body. So you
That's
can have
body.
a medium plus that has full body, because that if it's quality tobacco like the Corona has, it will do that for you, or even the Connecticut, does that. So I
A
tell them
good
that's what that is.
creamy Connecticut. People describe it as creamy. It's that creamy, thick smoke that's not strong as from a strength perspective, but it's very chewy, very palate filling.
Yes. So that's the concept. So what I tell people, be cognizant of what you're doing, because we're supposed to be respecting this thing. Like, it's not supposed to be, like a lot of, and I've had a lot of guys, they get mad at me when they tell me this, because I have a neighbor, he knows that I have cigars there, and he tells me, Doc, I need a couple of cigars. So I need something while I'm cutting the grass. So I need a yard guard. And I'm like, brother, you offend me and my family when you say this. There is no such thing as a yard guard. These terms are so disrespectful, guys. So I tell them, no, 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 no. See, my father had to take a shower and put on a suit to smoke a cigar. That's how much respect. The way they held it. My father held the cigar when in his fingers, because it's almost like you're holding something that you honor so much. Today we just do whatever the hell we want. We could be smelly. So I tell the guy, when you finish cutting the grass, then you go get a cigar, sit down, light it, and relish in the glory of the cut of the grass, the finish. That is why we smoke, not because you need a round cylinder in your mouth while you're working. That, according to Freud, is a different synthetic. That's more of a phallic thing, and they sell rubber ones that you can buy for $1. You don't need to be spending $10 sucking on this thing that's not good for you. So don't get mad at me, guys. As a physician, I have a different. I don't believe that. I tell everybody, slow it down. I'm not saying you can't smoke a bomb, or a headbanger. Go get it, but 1, 2 a week. The rest, do it in moderation. I like I tell the people, if you take my schedule, I wake up in the morning, I smoke Connecticut's. I do Connecticut in the well, morning sunrise, coffee, juice. That's good. And then 12 o'clock hits, we're doing Corojo now. It's Corojo time. Let's get a Habano. Let's get some of that spice love in there, because your palate develops during the day. Your palate gets even more in depth as the day progresses. So I tell them, smoke a Corojo. You can smoke a Corojo from 12 to 5 or 6. When the sun goes down, Maduro time, papa. Go get your nice Madurito. Any lengths are equivalent to the amount of time that you're going to spend smoking your cigar. Don't over smoke. Don't waste the cigar. Don't light up a 60 if you only got 25 minutes. Take your time. Look at it. If it's a 30-minute, get a Robusto, get a Corona, a 6x44. There's so many sizes. It's not, a lot of guys think it's value. If I don't get that fat ass cigar and I'm going to spend $10, I'm wasting my money. I'm like, dude, some of the most flavorful cigars are thin. A 38,
Oh,
a Lancero.
Lancero all day long.
There
Absolutely.
you go. So, and you miss out on that because you're just not using good logic. So I tell them, take it, select your time that you're gonna smoke, and then buy the right Vitola. Um, Smoke in moderation, and pick your wrappers. Pick your strength during the day. I'll start off with a mild to medium. And then if I needed another one at 10 o'clock, I'll get a nice medium to medium plus. And if I want a full body, I'll go get it. You know, when I'm looking for a full body, I'll find one, you know, like a full strength Connecticut, because there are.
I have had some
Every
full strength Connecticut's, and they are a big surprise. If you
yes,
at all Connecticut's are mild, you get a Connecticut that's jack full of Lajero,
woo,
and you get halfway into that, your head's going to start spinning because you're not ready for it.
exactly. You know, and here it comes with the beautiful woods, the beautiful that cream with that beautiful cedar. So it's a whole different experience, and guys just miss out. Oh, I don't smoke Connecticut because it's light. I'm like, really? I just smoke the Corona 10-year Connecticut. That'll knock your socks off. But it's not even that. Mine is medium, at most medium plus. I don't. That's my cutoff. Even that La Cura. How do you feel? That should be no more. It starts off medium, but and I make my cigars. Another caveat is the way we make cigars. My great grandfather taught us this should be like sex. When we create it with the craftsmanship and making a cigar, it should always start off medium and build up. But I don't understand these new guys. They want to make you they want to give you a cigar that on your first third it's fireworks, and then the second third you're like, what happened? Where are the where are the rockets? They're gone. You know, like all I have is like little firecrackers. And then the last third, you're like, why is this even in my mouth? So you know, so and if you walk around shops that are strong cigar smokers, there's a bunch of thirds. The final third, they're just sitting there. Guys don't finish them because they want to feel the juice. So with my cigar, if you want to get hit, just cut it in half and go for the glory. If you only got 10 minutes, just light it up. I bet you $1 you can't keep your mouth on it. You can't. You're gonna go, oh, you know, because your mouth isn't ready. You know, like just like when you're gonna have a great meal, you what do you do to start distending your abdomen and your stomach? You have a warm soup. You have a warm soup. The soup distends the stomach. Is ready to receive a beautiful meal, so that every part of your digestive system will appreciate what's coming down. You know, with the hands that prepare it, and
Well, you have an
and
aperitif. You have an aperitif before you have.
yes,
Just gets.
see, it's all there. It's the same thing with cigars. This is the total celebration of life, love, passion, and good friends. You know, the moments. You know, that's what it's about. And I tell people, please don't alter this. Don't make this a fad by people playing with this and you know, calling it different stuff. They're just turning it into something disgusting, and it's gonna lose its panache. It's gonna lose its panache. And I'm me as one of the gatekeepers of tradition. Me, Fuente, Ashton. Those are like my core lines. Those are that's what I do. And Padron, because we go way back. You know, even the burgers. We know the burgers from a long time ago. Excellent families, you know, but we're dedicated to making stuff that's old school and true. That you know, so that's what we do. You know, another excellent brand, Perdomo. Excellent family tradition. I know Nick, his son. Um, just people that really care about their products. There's a lot of great stuff out there. So hats off to the smokers, man, because just good stuff to be had.
So let's talk briefly about some of the names of your cigars. So being a doctor, right? You've got one. It's called Painkiller. All right.
Yes, sir.
Another one that is called the Anesthesia.
Yes.
Right.
So I like doing that
And
because I prescribe them to people. So
and I would imagine going through these names that the La Cura, I'm not really good in my Spanish, but I'm getting better understanding the word. This means the cure.
yes. So I couldn't use the cure because I asked the band, but they trademarked the cure. So, and they didn't want to be associated with tobacco. So I asked one of the most intelligent men in the world are like in our field are the neurosurgeons, and a great friend of mine. His name is Dr. Pat Ryan. He's a beast when it comes to mind and spinal surgery and shit like that. That this guy's incredible. And I told him my dilemma. He's like, Oscar, I'm gonna think about this. And he goes, say it in Spanish. It's gonna be because nobody can message you if it's in Spanish because that's yours. And I'm like, that's right. I'm Latin and it's mine. So it becomes La Cura. So I tell everybody, this is what everybody needs in 2021. That if you have the cure, you don't got to worry about nothing.
That's right. You need the cure. That's
Yeah,
correct.
so smoke one a week and everything will stay away from you.
What does the name Mandinga mean?
Okay, so Mandinga is a special cigar. The 60 ring gauge, we actually have on our farm that was very old. We actually have tribal warriors from the Mandinga tribe on our farm still. So these guys are a remnant of those Africans that were brought. And there's even a town in the Dominican Republic called Mandinga. So that a lot of them live there, and they actually do a lot of rituals smoking. Their preferred cigar was the 60 ring gauge. So since I know a lot of them on our farm, and I have the ultimate respect for my guys. Let me tell you, everybody to me is important. I don't think there's no man more better than any other man. That everybody is important. And on my farm, from the guy who puts the seed in the ground to the guy who selects it to the last guy who puts the wrapper and all that. So I said we're going to name that cigar after them in honor of their hard work and what they've been through. So you know, more power to these guys. I love them. These are committed men. These guys wake up every morning nice and early and they do their job, man. You know, like with honor. When I show up, they're happy to show me the areas that they work and they're proud. It's clean. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff, you don't see that anymore in these new people that are sprouting up. They don't really care. These guys are old school. And so I named it the Mandinga after them. We also have our light cigar that's called the Hypnotic with the sweet tip.
Yeah, I was going to get to that next. So yeah, that's the sweet tip cigar.
Yeah, and we call it Hypnotic. I say, come get hypnotized, you know. But it's a nice way to start for if you're gonna get into this stuff. It's a mild cigar, but it's long filler. We don't use chop, and it's still better priced than most infused. Which I tell people all the time, infused they use a chop and they spray it with whatever the hell that thing is. Nobody knows what it is, but it smells like roses. So I say, if you like that smell, buy the potpourri. You know, roll it in the toilet paper and light it up. Save yourself some money, man. You know, but if you gotta have that crap, like I tell them, no, smoke hypnotic. When you smoke hypnotic, on the last third, the sweet tip wears off. So training wheels
yeah.
fall off. Now you're smoking a mild cigar. I said, welcome to the club, brother. Now you're doing what we're doing. You're not stinking up the place. You know, making fruit fries come out of nowhere. You know, so that they get it. They get it. I think in Atlanta per se, I've seen more people graduate, and I love to give them a certificate because they go from the Hypnotic Connecticut to the Hypnotic Sumatra, and then they just get better and better. You know, so wow, what a tribute to this great passion that we all enjoy.
So now, when you look at this portfolio and rather a broad portfolio of cigars and blends, what's your most popular selling cigar?
You know, oddly enough, I sell everything in almost the same quantity. It's just because we have people that start, you know, level 1, then they move to level 2, and there's always like a new group coming through. The Hypnotic is one of our best sellers for the most part. It's like it's everywhere. The Painkiller definitely has made a statement, and a lot of people still love that cigar. We also have an excellent cigar called the Gold. The Gold is a mild to medium Connecticut. We use you on that one. It's the only tobacco I import. It's actually our rendition of the famous Partagas Lusitania. I like throwing names out there because I don't care. I love those. It's a great cigar. If I found the Lusitania, I'd buy it. But I love that cigar, so I decided I'm just gonna recreate it, and I use my tobaccos. So if you like that cigar, if you like a mild to medium Connecticut, smoke the Gold. It's available in a classic Churchill 7 1/4 by 47, or the Robusto. Spectacular smoke. You know, beautiful woods, beautiful creams, excellent cedar notes. Even if you're really good, you can pick up the graham cracker. If you can pick up graham cracker, I will. You know, I have to give you the knighthood thing. I got to. Yeah, you're in. You're good.
Well, I'll figure that out. But yeah, because you're using, you broke up a little bit. I think you said you're using a U.S. Connecticut to wrapper on that.
Yes, we use the U.S. Connecticut wrapper. The Ecuadorian, not. I don't find that it's as flavorful, and it really doesn't have the taste. I think it loses a little bit of taste, and it's better to use it if you're going to go for a power cigar. You know, where strength takes over the cigar, and not so much the complexities of the different things you could taste.
Very good. Let me take one more breakthrough here. I'm going to just go quick. What's new in news and reviews on Stogie Press this week? And it's going to be a short one this week because there was no news. Everybody was at PCA, so all the news that was fit to print came out last week. And we'll just come here and share. Sorry. All right, so we did 3 cigar reviews this week. The first one was the GTO. This is the Corona DGTO, 10 años Corojo. This is your 10-year Corojo. What a fabulous cigar this was. We rated this one out of the 96. This thing was, not just because you're on the show, but just look at that cigar. It is absolutely beautiful. The construction on this was magnificent. The burn on it was spectacular. All the way down. When you look at my points that I do, you got no point deductions as far as flavor-wise, burn-wise. It was spectacular. You get the bonus points for an excellent burn, and damn it, go buy a box of these. If you're crazy if you don't. This is a fabulous cigar. We got some amazing notes out of this. I got cocoa, caramel, and dry fruit, a creamy sweetness, some woody notes, some syrup aroma, spice, and cocoa. I love the fact near the end there was this cocoa nuances that was hiding behind the spice that you're just picking up all the time. It was really fabulous. So that was the GTO. We also took a look at Tobacco Trading Company. So Tobacco Trading Company, this is their matcha milk and honey. So Tobacco Trading Company came out with a line called the Milk and Honey this year. There were 3 different blends. This one is the Candela blend, so they're calling it matcha because of the green color. The owner, Patrick Potter, actually says, go pair this with a Starbucks matcha latte. And he says the experience will be second to none. This one, it's a $10 cigar, just really well constructed. Look at the color in here. Look at the leaf in the center. It's just absolutely beautiful. You can see the dark and the light colors running through the blend, just shining off the foot. Nice burn. Clean ash drop. This one here, a little pointy. I did have a little wavy burn, a flat burn cone, but this was consistent. I smoked about 2 or 3 of these. There is a little bit of Lajero in this, a little extra that he amped it up, so you do get a little bit of a buzz out of this than you would on some of the others. And you'll get a nice pepper shot, like you were mentioning earlier. You're going to get that pepper shot early in the journey. But you get some herbalness. You get the honey. There's always this touch of honey in it. And then there's some cream and spicy nut. And then the last one was this is one that I've had around for a while. I needed to review it, which was the Plasencia Caseca 146 La Vega. This one in here. Again, I love the reddish brown wrapper on this. This one comes in, it's a Honduras. This is a Honduras, everything's Criollo 98, whether it's from Honduras or Nicaragua. And the 146 stands for the 146th harvest that they did since they started growing tobacco 146 years ago. So that's what the name comes from. So again, dark, rich tobacco in the center there. Very decent burn, excellent, beautiful, long ash. This thing was carrying beautiful ash going on it. Comes down. So this one in here, there was the only problem here was at the end, you'll notice there was this slight off burn that began to happen near the nub, and it did get, smoke got a little hot at the end. So he got dinged on points on that. But other than that, very nice cigar. Licencia, they're putting out some good craft. So the other thing we put out was we put out the Dean Parsons Epic Cigars, Take It to the Nub Season 2. So that was our the one we did back on July 3rd. So that's out there on the YouTube channel. So you can always see it if you haven't watched that show. All right. So we're going to be coming up on the hour here, and you're getting ready to go to a wedding. Should be getting close to wherever it is you're going. Usually at this stage, I do a quick lightning round. All right. So simple answers.
Okay.
Let's start with what is your, you like watches?
Love watches.
Okay. What is your favorite watch?
Brailing.
Okay. Very nice. It's a beautiful watch.
That's my. It's just different. Like I've worn Rolex before, and I like to be unique. Like I like stuff that different people wear. Like if I see somebody wearing it too much, I'm like, I'm done with it. It's like I like to be different.
You're a whiskey man?
Love whiskey.
Favorite whiskey?
Balvenie.
Balvenie. 24?
30.
30. Oh, you're up there. Excellent. I'm gonna have to read your list.
You know the for like here and there, the 15, the double wood, the 17 is really nice. The 21, here and there, the 15 for the most part, like I'll grab, I'll feast on that. But like every week, if I close a week, I tell everybody, get you a bottle of 30, sip it slow. It's worth the extra coin. They're serious about what they do.
I had somebody tell me he has a huge collection of whiskeys, and from high end to just below high end, not really crappy. But he always said, when you start your whiskey drinking in the evening, he says, take a dram or two of your best whiskeys that you like. And then once you finish that second dram, he says, put the cork in the bottle, put it back in the shelf, and go drink something lower on the shelf that you like. Because your palate's not going to be as picking up that beautiful notes that you got on the first few sips of that beautiful whiskey.
Definitely. Now, if you ask me about bourbon, I do like bourbon, Buffalo Trace or Weller.
Have you had Uncle Nearest?
That's good too. I actually I've had Uncle Nearest.
100 proof. Yeah, what is it?
Yes.
1886 is like super smooth whiskey. It's like, it's almost dangerous to drink.
We do a lot of and I wish more guys would do this at our cigar shop. What we do is we have like we'll pick a Thursday, and everybody brings a bourbon. So we got about 12 guys, and everybody like bourbons. So we'll this week we're going to do bourbons under 30, bourbons from 30 to 50, then 50 to 75, 75 to 100. So like that, you get to try 12 different, and and then now you're going through famous grouse, you're going through Old Forester, you're going through what is that, J? There's something.
Not
E
a
and
huge
J.
bourbon guy.
Not E. Oh, you like bourbon? Okay, so back to scotches. We do the same with the scotches. So which one is kind of cool? I had it the other day and I didn't think it was bad. The monkey shoulder.
The monkey shoulder, yeah.
They gave me some of that. I was like, wow, this is like, it's not that bad. It's like, as I thought, I was like, I could taste this because I didn't know the mix, but it goes, there's some good single barrel. I could taste some cask in this. I was like, ¿qué esto?
So now, You have, I think you
And
said
then Fano and rum.
you have 3 GTOs. I think you said, right?
Now I do, yeah. 3. Now I'm down to
3.
3.
Do you have the GTO that you always wanted in that line?
Yeah. My favorite is the 65. So and that one, the 65 sits near and dear. I got the 71. I never wanted anything different. I like original. My stuff is not really with the old cars, not to go fast. I just like the way it looks. It runs great. I love the way it rides and everything. But then I got a unique GTO, which is not an American muscle. The 94 is one that I brought in Osaka, Japan, which
Oh,
is actually it's a Mitsubishi,
it's a Gran
and they call.
Turismo.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's really hooked up. It's all-wheel drive. I only have like 12,000 original miles. Everybody wants for me because I don't have my cars. I like wash them, drive them around the block, and
There you
add
go.
insult to injury to a few, and then run off. But you guys,
Yeah.
whoever like,
Yeah, I
they're
actually
just cool.
I had a car. I didn't have the GTO version, but I had a 1966 Le Mans, but it was the Sprint 6, which was the 6,
Oh,
the overhead cam and the 4-barrel carburetor. It was in between the GTO and the Le Mans. And
okay.
earlier about being an emergency doctor, it's guys like you that saved my life because I cracked that up and ended up in a hospital for 4 months. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh my God.
And I always look at that car when I see it. Sometimes I just go back and search for it and see how much it costs because I guess I want to get it someday. It's my bucket list car. Go back and get it.
Oh my God.
Last
I
question.
hear you, bro.
Last question, because I know you're probably getting close to where you got to be. Everybody gets this question. There is no context to it. Anybody who's watched the show knows exactly what's coming. Simple answer: skirts or pantsuits?
I like skirts.
All right.
I'm a leg man.
You're in the majority. And all I have to say, every time somebody says that, is I always believe that a woman that can rock a pantsuit could rock a skirt.
Oh, for sure. Oh no, that we know. But if you show me some leg, I'm gonna lose it, bro. I start go, ooh.
Absolutely. All right, that's it. We got to the hour. Beautiful. I'm down to the nub. This has been a fantastic cigar. I'm glad I got a few more of these to smoke that I picked up. So,
Thank you, brother.
we'll
For me, it's super honor, man. Like I've always watched your show, and I was like, one day he's gonna invite me. So a tremendous honor to be here. I didn't get to smoke with you, but I hope one day we could do it again, and I'll light one up along with you, or find wherever you are, because wherever you hang out, I'm gonna come to you, and we'll smoke one together.
There you go. You hang out right here in the Stogie Press Lounge. Come on down to Mel.
My man.
Next time you got to visit Vero Beach, let me know.
Okay, so are you near
Minutes
Vero?
away from me.
Okay, for sure. Because I go see Michael a lot. I love Catelli. The Catellis are just great people.
You been to the new place?
I haven't seen the new place, so
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
tell them we're gonna do an event there. So
What? You're gonna love it because he's got the music parlor on the other side with the windows between the two. He has some great music acts coming in. He does it outside and inside at times. The lounge is beautiful. Everything is just up a level. He did such a fantastic job. And I've known Michael a while too, and I just adore him and his wife. It's just amazing.
we gotta get. Does he? Have you seen him playing the drums?
Yes, I was down there. And he sat down
Okay.
with the drums. I've seen the videos now of him playing, and even in the band when they bring stuff together. Been playing drums since he was 8 years old.
Okay.
He's amazing.
Man, incredible. He sounds great. I love him. And he too. He is also a retired Air Force guy. So one of my guys. So we aim high, and we love and smooth draws, brother. God bless everybody. May all your cigars be fantastic. And check us out, man. I love you guys.
Check it out. And thank you, everybody, for watching. If you don't know about GTO, I hope by now you do. And you can always check out GTO Cigars at GTO Dominican Cigars.com and look for where you could find them. And if you can't find them, get a hold of Dr. Rodriguez here, and he will provide you a prescription on where to get GTO cigars. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it. You all have a great night tonight, and you have a good time with the wedding, my friend.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
All right, that's it, folks.